once again. Okay, so I'm finally getting back to my rest thing. Okay, we're doing New Blood Rising now. Okay, so sorry it's taken so long to get to this point. The plan was to kind of finish this whole thing off in 1 or 2 videos. That's not going to be possible because of my copyright strike. We're going to be doing one event per thing, so we skipped over the Nitro. I did book it. Essentially all that came out of that mainly was we got a new #1 contender in Booker T. Okay, so let's get to this because I've only got a short time to do this. Billy Kidman with Torrie Wilson versus Corporal Cajun. Kidman wins. So we're still trying to get Kidman. Eventually we'll get him out of this Cruiserweight thing, but at the moment he's kind of been squeezed and put over to the side. Hardcore title, Mike Awesome versus Terry Funk. Mike Awesome wins because I think Terry Funk would just do a great job in doing that. Essentially, he has a clean win over him, and I would even have at the end of that match Terry Funk raising up Mike Awesome's arm. Yeah. #1 contenders for the Cruiserweight title. Chavo Guerrero versus Evan Karagias versus Hayashi versus Rey Mysterio versus Elix Skipper versus Crowbar. Chavo pins Skipper. Evan Karagias pins Hayashi. Rey pins Crowbar. Chavo pins Rey. Chavo pins Evan. So Chavo Guerrero sort of comes out on top of that. Okay. WCW Tag Team Titles. Bryan Adams and Brian Clark versus the Mamalukes. Big Vito and Johnny the Ball versus the Perfect Event in a triple threat. Kronik wins by pinning Chuck Palumbo with the high time. Okay, so we continue on after that. U.S. title, Shane Douglas versus Lance Storm. Lance Storm wins because this event took place in Canada, and I think building up to that a big thing, Lance Storm winning. Yes. Thing. So yeah. Diamond Dallas Page versus Sting. Okay, this is like I think the way I booked this is kind of like the beginning of a mini tournament to crown the nin. Yeah, no. This is like just a quick interlude. There's no bad blood. It's just a way of working for Diamond to get in line to win the world title, and he's sort of been stuck taking on Sting, but Sting wins by submission. Kevin Nash versus Jeff Jarrett. Jeff Jarrett wins after a guitar shot to the head and the stroke. Yeah, so sort of like he's like stumbling around, then stroke. Scott Steiner versus Booker T. This is like Booker T's real first opportunity to get the shot at that world title, and he doesn't win. Scott Steiner just manages to beat him clean too. So we're really trying to put over Scott Steiner as the bad guy. Okay, that did not take as long as I thought. Let's see if we can squeeze Fall Brawl in here. Cruiserweight title. Billy Kidman with Torrie Wilson taking on Chavo Guerrero Jr. Kidman retains the belt because I think that'll be sort of the thing to do at this point. Vampiro and Great Muta taking on Sting and Lex Luger. The way this would come about is Vampiro is still kind of ticked off at Sting, and it's sort of a chant that says, "Okay, I found someone to team up with, and you're going to face me. If you can find anyone out there to help you out, you and your buddy can help take on me. And he brings out the Great Muta, obviously. And Sting sort of is around searching for people. And we do not reveal who this is until the night of. Sting sort of comes out, does his howl, and then points to the back, and out comes the total package. And I think Elizabeth was out by this point, so the package comes out, and they shake hands, they hug, and then they go out, and like people probably would pop for that, but Muta would get the pin over Luger. Okay, hardcore title versus U.S. title. Lance Storm has sort of put out the challenge. It says no one can beat him for the U.S. belt. He's been defending it on both Nitro and Thunder. He's been taking on the top contenders, and he's been beating them concisely, super kick, and really putting over that half Boston Crab thing, similar to what they actually did do. So in comes Storm holding that belt. We go, and he's taking on Mike Wilson, and guess what? Storm wins. He uses some dirty tactics, but manages to get the win, and he walks away with both belts high above his head. WCW Tag Team Titles. Bryan Clark and Brian Adams taking on Kevin Nash and Diamond Dallas Page. Nash has sort of given up the fact that maybe Scott Hall is not coming back, but he says he's got one more. He's got another friend that he thinks can beat those guys Kronik for the tag belts, and they sort of get together and win. But Kronik manages to win, and it's kind of like, how close? I mean, but no, they just like, damn. World title street fight. Yeah, because the world title is not the main event. I'll get to that in a minute. Scott Steiner versus Booker T, and I believe Scotty Steiner gets the win again. But a little bit more of a dirty tactics, maybe some interference in this one. Yeah. Now it's time for War Games. Yeah, we're doing War Games again. We might still do it in just a single ring with the cage, and we do have people coming out. Team WCW, led by Goldberg, Terry Funk, and Filthy Animals, Conan and Rey Mysterio, taking on the team of the New Blood, Jeff Jarrett, Buff Bagwell, and the Perfect Event. Jarrett wins by pinning Terry Funk. He gets the win, and they sort of celebrating in the ring. Yes. Okay, I think we can cut it off here. Like, I've only got a few more minutes, and I know it only took about 3 minutes, but it took a little bit long for that one. And the stuff I want to talk about in the next edition that I've got to wait for. So, be right back.